Alright, so let's do some eye cleanup here. Everybody is going to want you to remove those eye veins. Nobody likes veiny eyes, so we're going to get rid of those. I'm going to set my clone stamp to lighten. It's at a pretty light opacity, somewhere around 30% is where I like to keep it. Just go over that area, take those out. Here we've got a hair, so we're going to need to get that out of there. Lighten up the corners. If you make the eye whites too white, again, they're going to look fake, so try and keep them so that they've got dimension. Darker in the corners, lighter towards the center, the way that light would actually hit a round sphere. So now if you need to, you can go back into your history brush the way we set it up. And here, this is what I was talking about, where you need to line up your brush so that it works properly. As you can see, I've got the healing brush, I'm working through here. And you're going to need to line it up so that it makes a straight line where the black of the eye makeup is until where it moves into the eye white. So we're just going through here and we are going to try and keep that line as straight and soft as possible. You can change the hardness to be something in between so that it's not totally hard, but not totally soft either. Something sort of in the middle so that you can have a line that blends and looks natural. We're just going to even this out a little bit. Sometimes I like to darken the rim just a tiny bit of the iris area so that it gives a little bit more of a three-dimensional look to the iris. You don't want to do it too much because it could look fake, but just a tiny bit. Just lighten the color a tiny bit and darken the edge. It just makes it look dramatic. Darken the pupil, that's helpful. Again, to give it that sort of three-dimensional quality, like it's popping off the page. But keep it in check. Don't take it too far, because if you take it too far, it screams, "I've been retouched." Now there's still a little bit of redness in her eye whites. So a really fast way to fix that is to set your brush tool to color, and you can either just set it back to the default of white or take a sample of a color nearby that is white and brush over the areas that are red, and that will just neutralize them. I'll keep my opacity somewhere around 20%. You can go up to 30% if you need to. Don't go up to 100%, but just brush over it so that it's a neutral color. And I think I'm just going to reshape these a tiny bit so they look a little bit more balanced. Just a tiny bit, because this image is shot at an angle so that they don't really look balanced. So we're just going to reshape them. Again, I have it set to the push tool. All those other options over there on the left-hand side, sometimes they can be really useful, but for the most part, I just keep mine on the push button. I use that the most. You've got the swirl one there. That can be kind of fun. Sometimes you might need to change the direction of something, but for the most part, I just use the push button. And there we go. It's just a small movement. She's starting to look a little bit more glamorous. Again, that nose, we're going to need to reshape it. We're going to need to work on that, but I want to keep the image balanced, so we're going to go through the image a little bit at a time, and then we'll go back into that nose area. Sometimes by lightening the tip of the brow area, that brow bone, we can add a little bit more shape and dimension. You're going to have to clean up these lashes a little bit. Lashes can be, sometimes people are going to want them to be so perfect, especially if it's a mascara ad or something like that. You need to have a lot of control. So I'm just going to do a quick cleanup on these lashes here because they're not our main concern for this image. Where there's clumps, you got to smooth that out. I'm going to just set my clone tools with more of a hardness so we can get real fine edges here, and I've got it now up to 100% opacity. And I'm just going to brush out some of these areas. Smooth it out a little bit. Do the other one. These lashes aren't completely in focus, so we don't have to worry about making them too perfect. Again, remove that hair because that's in the way. can darken that area out a little bit. Lashes are something you should practice with. Line them up, make them look good. You can paint lashes on. Sometimes that can be really effective. This image, because these lashes aren't totally in focus, could be problematic with painting them on, but we can give it a try and see what happens. I'm just evening out the color of her corner of the eye here. Had a little white spot in there. And we're just going to try and take some of these wrinkles out here so that it looks like one smooth socket. It's like one nice eyeball in there without too much skin overlapping. Burning and dodging it so that we keep all that texture in there. Let's see, I'll get a feel for what we're looking at here. Just lighten it a little bit. I want to make it look here like she's got a lighter shadow on the top of her lid as opposed to on the area below the brow. So I'm just lighting the lid a little bit, removing some of these wrinkles, some of these folds in the skin here. Everybody's got them, but I'm going to just take them out. We want all the attention of the viewer to be on the eye, the iris area, instead of on all the little folds in the lid. So that's why we're taking them out. Just make it look really smooth. But see how we're holding on to the texture here by using the burning and dodge tool, keeping that texture that actually makes it look and feel like skin instead of being a flat surface. So we're just taking out those little dark lines. Balancing it out so it looks like one surface. We're going to move around a little bit here. We don't need to do every single one, but you want it to look really good from afar. So we'll just take out some of the ones that stand out to us when we look at it from far away.